Well, it's 10:20 on a Wednesday morning, and that means it's time for the Culture Crawl on KCCK. And I have three guests in studio with me today, and they are from the University of Iowa Summer Rep program, which is taking the stage next week. Say hi to David McGraw, to Jenny Nutting-Kelchin, and Christy Hartsgrove-Morse.
Good morning.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for being here.
Great to be.
David, you're the executive director of the UI Summer Rep, and Jenny, you're the costume designer,
yes.
and the artistic director. You're the artistic director, Christy.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, I'm Miss Prism in the
Miss
cast.
Prism.
Just
Yes.
got a promotion on
You got a
there.
promotion.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's charge that error to the host. So you perform the role of Miss Prism, but you are not a U of I student.
No.
And we'll talk about the role of the guest artist here as well. But David, tell me a little bit about the history of the Summer Rep program, how long it's been going on, and what is what's the aim of the program at the University of Iowa?
Sure. So the University of Iowa has been producing summer theater since the 1930s. But really, we came into our own in the 80s with Eric Forsyth, who is now a professor emeritus and who also happens to be in this year's production. And Eric took over as artistic director and really kind of shaped us into a full summer. Normally, we were producing 3 shows each summer in Rep, hence the name Summer Rep. We had to go on hiatus, however. So 2 years ago, because of the repairs after the big flood, and then also opening a lot of the new buildings on campus, Voxman, opening Hansher, the new art building, we had to take a break. But we're back this year, so this is my first year now as executive director. And I would say that Summer Rep, its identity is producing smart, language-rich theater for the whole Eastern Iowa community. And it's something where we bring in guest artists, we bring in professional designers, and match those with students so the students can grow as we continue to produce professional quality theater.
And talk about language-rich, you're mining Oscar Wilde for this year's production. It's The Importance of Being Earnest. Who wants to give me the short encapsulated summary of what the show is about? Christy, I'm looking at you.
Well, without giving too much away, it's about a beautiful governess who falls in love. No, just kidding.
There's a couple other characters. Yeah.
There's a couple other minor characters. It's a farce. It's subtitled A Trivial Comedy for Serious People. And it's really based around mistaken identity quite a bit. There's 2 young men who are best friends who have created certain identities so that they can go and have fun in the country or the city or wherever that may be without a lot of social implications. And unfortunately, this creates a hubbub once they truly fall in love.
Yeah,
They get ensnared by their own lives.
Indeed, indeed. So,
and this was, I'm sure Oscar Wilde didn't invent the farce, but a lot of what I know it comes out of, farces have been around for hundreds of years, but I think that what we think of today as, a lot of the traditions of the farce probably had a lot of its origins with his work.
yeah, his verbal pyrotechnics, I mean, they're unparalleled. He's just one of the wittiest writers ever. And so it's just a joy to work on this play and get to say these words. They're incredibly funny.
And of course, it's a period piece
Absolutely.
set in England in the 18th, 19th century. And of course, the university has a pretty rich costume bank, I'm sure, that you don't have to go, Jenny, you don't have to go searching too much. But as the costume designer, what... obviously you want them to dress as the period, but the costumes also say things about the characters.
Absolutely. I think, we're somewhat faithful to the period with this. We're in 1895, London and in the country. So we're looking at sort of those silhouettes that you start with, but then we kind of layer on some fun things with character. And this production, we're keeping it mostly in period with just a few kind of comic elements and some sort of contemporary moments with fabrics and things. 1895, for costume history buffs, is the era of the giant gigot sleeves, these giant puffy sleeves that are like the size of multiple human heads. So
you cannot make it through the door easily.
You can't, yes. Fortunately, our beautiful set is very open and spare, so that's great.
And doorways were not very wide in those days
no,
either.
I think you had to kind of turn sideways to make that work. But we're keeping our Lady Bracknell in the full regalia of the period, but kind of keeping a little more contemporary elements here and there with the other characters.
Christy, and David talked a little bit just about this as we were setting this up, but as the guest artist coming in, and you have two guest artists, what do you see as your role in working with the director and the students? Because obviously you're there to kind of lead by example, but you're not the director. You can't tell them what to do, even if you wanted to.
But it's just a wonderful gig. I love working at Summer Rep. Every summer that I've been there, I think this is my 8th, and it's just a wonderful professional experience. It's beautifully run, and I love the opportunity to work with the students, and get to know them better. I do teach at the university as well, but I don't teach the grads, and so it's nice to get to know them better and work with them, and they might be teaching my class at some point, so it's nice to get to know them on a personal level. So
now, David, you said that Summer Rep is kind of coming back after a little bit of a hiatus, and I know it's been a little bit of a process. People who are familiar with the idea of repertory theater might think, oh, there are several shows, but this year this is the one.
Right. So for this first year back, we fully intend to go back to our full rep schedule. That's part of our identity. But the university it was very generous. They gave us funding so that this first year back, we can actually offer all the performances for free. So rather than try to string together 3 shows on a limited budget, we really wanted to go full on this first show back. And so all 10 performances completely open to the public.
And the main reason I mention that is so that people don't think they've got all summer to get there.
No. You've got 10 shows and that's it.
Yeah. That's right. 10 shows in June, and you open on June
15th, next Thursday. And we run through the 25th. So 8 o'clock evening shows, except for Sundays, we do our matinees, 2 p.m.
Now, you said admission was free, but do people need to reserve a ticket ahead of time or just show up?
Nope, no reservations needed. If there are any groups, if you have more than 10 people, we're happy to set aside seats so you can all sit together. But otherwise, you can just show up. We're in the theater building, so we're the one building downstream of Hampshire Auditorium. We share the same parking lot.
Okay, and then your building came back.
Yes, we were kind of back right away within about 6 months. We didn't have to replace, but we've had to do a lot of infrastructure repairs over the years. So
yeah.
Sure. Well, the show is The Importance of Being Earnest, University of Iowa Summer Rep. If people want to find out more information, or they are bringing a group and need to contact, where are you on the web?
Best to find us at iowasummerrep.com. You can also call 335-3906.
David and Jenny and Christy, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks so much.